I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any comments on agenda items?
Now or how you do that?
Do you have a comment on agenda items?
Okay, I'm Richard Wolver, and I'm the only county commissioner at the zoning team. And right after the election in November, we started looking into the possibility of the county buying Mill City Elementary because we have a number of rental properties all over the county. Costs us a lot of money for those. And we also own the Robinson Building, which is on the other side of the river. It's too small, we need several $100,000 worth of repairs. And if we bought that building down there, we could consolidate everything we have. We have a number of offices up in Hollow Crest. We have numerous people over there. It's going to cost us, as I said, $700,000 to renovate. And then we could sell that building, and then it would be coming back on the tax rolls. So we would basically be going down here, keeping that off the tax rolls. When we sell that, if anybody's not familiar with Robinson, it's right across, catty corner to Walmart, right next to where the new Aldi's is going to go. So it's a very valuable piece of commercial property, basically torn down and used for something else, but it's got a lot of value to it because of where it's at. So anyway, I really started, I talked to Shane, she was very, very good about getting information to me, all the FAQs and all that sort of stuff. And then we started going and asking all the questions. We met with the state director of the USDA. They have a loan program, a grant program for rural economic development. They told us we were qualified for it, but again, we had no authority to do anything because we weren't in office until this past Monday. So we found out about that. There's a $100,000 grant out there. They also have low interest money, 3% money, that we can use to borrow for the renovations of the down there. So anyway, then we met with Ben Franklin Partnership, and what they do, they finance startup companies. And that building is so large, we talked about using a portion of it for an incubator project, which is for startup companies, and then hopefully in 2 or 3 years, they become viable, they move out of there, and then they're an economic asset to the county. So anyway, at that point, we approached the existing county commissioners, and they were all for the project. I think it's a great idea. Maybe we should do it, but the timing was absolutely poor because you have an auction 4 days or 5 days after we came in, and we couldn't do anything because of legalities involved, the sunshine laws and all that sort of stuff. No decisions could be made. So the existing commissioners approached the board through our solicitor, asking to move the auction to one of two things: either move it to a later date so we can get our ducks in a row and participate, or number 2, negotiate with the county to do it. And that was turned down. It wasn't allowed. So anyway, we came into office on Monday, and we did not have a meeting until today. So there's no way that we could meet the rules of the sunshine law and show up at the auction because that was illegal, and I was on the first week when I have a legal problem. So we did not do that, but we were under the understanding through our solicitor, who may or may not have had it incorrect, that this was not an absolute auction, that you had the right to accept or reject any bids. And I'm not sure if I'm right about that or not, but that's where our perception was in that case. And this is nothing against the diversity. I know several of them are great people. That's not what we're here for. But we've been working on this for 2 months. And because of the timing of it, we just couldn't pull it off. We couldn't get there to get a bid because there was no legal way that we could get into a meeting with all the advertising requirements and everything else, vote on it in an open meeting legally, and show up at that auction on Saturday. So that's why we're here and asking you not to approve the one for Mill City, and we're only offering $125,000 for it, plus the auction fees on top. And of course, that's your decision if you want to do that or not, but we respectfully ask that you consider it.
Okay.
There are some other items with it too, maybe. The gymnasium, we plan on keeping that for community use, basketball, all that sort of stuff. We really have no use for that section of the building. We're going to put a separate entrance into it. We also want to approach other government entities, there's state offices, there are also federal offices. Perhaps we can run into them too to help with it. So, you know, it would definitely be a great asset for the county. Right now, with the Steamson building that's falling apart, we can move in there, we can save money, we can put the Robinson building back on the tax rolls, and that's basically where we're at. Or do you have anything else to add? Or any questions?
Anybody else? Your name, please?
Captain Dabrinsky with the Dabrinsky Brothers. I just want to talk here. Since this thing was advertised, we've been also working on this, and we were the successful low bidder, or the high bidder, I should say, on both of the schools. We are taxpaying county people. We have over 17 properties within this county. Our business is operated out of Wyoming County, which we do over $20+ million in civil and site work. So our representation that we have for the interest for the building is for the use in our company, and if we decide to do something different on some of the other, the Evans Falls School, we have other opportunities to do with that. But everybody has had all ample opportunity to bring this up a long time ago. We've been doing contracting work for a long period of time, and it's always, you go by the fair bidding practices, and obviously we're the high bidder on this, and we would like to have the opportunity to have these buildings and put them to use back into the community. But all of what we do as a family within the county, we want to make sure that you recognize that we pay close to $100,000 a year in school taxes, so we're not, somebody that's not putting money back into the community. So just also on the legality end, I have a representation of Mr. Abrahamson, and he can speak a little bit more in reference to some of the stuff.
Thank you very much. I'm Attorney Ned Abrahamson, representing the Dabrinskys. Under Section 7707 of the Public School Code, the school board has certain options on how to sell unused property. You selected a public auction. My client was the successful bidder. That's really the end of the story. There were no irregularities in the process. You don't have any discretion at this point legally except to accept the bid. I heard from the previous speaker that they didn't have enough time to call a special meeting. I believe that's incorrect. The commissioners were sworn in 8 days ago. They could have had a special meeting. They could have been at the auction. They could have made their bid. This is a question of legality. To do otherwise, to do other than award my clients the bid would be illegal. There's no question about it. The public school code rules here, and I ask the board to act as you should and properly award the bid to my clients. To do otherwise would be absolutely illegal. Thank you.
Anybody else?
As a citizen, I know we're in a dilemma here in this county, the school board and the county commissioners. We have to respect the fact that these newly elected county commissioners just got voted there and now take office on Monday. So they have not had a chance to do this like they would like to. It's a shame, and I'm not happy with the previous commissioners not taking the action that they should have. If I understand it correctly, they had approached the board about delaying the auction, which would have been the most fair way to do it. I respect the Brinsky family and honor them for all they do to the community too, but the school board is made up of us taxpayers and need to be working for the best of the county from a taxpayer standpoint, cutting taxes or at least maintaining taxes. It seems to me that the opportunity may be good here. And the least that you folks could do tonight would be to table this and get it ironed out and make the best decisions for the taxpayers of Wyoming County.
Anybody else? Okay. I'd like to go into executive session to discuss some legal issues. We'll be back.
Yeah, see it again.
With that, okay. First item, looking for
Motion to
resolution.
approve. Motion, second.
And motion is second. Discussion. Well, certainly we appreciate this piece of bid for Evans Falls School. Roll call.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett?
Yes.
Mrs. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Swilly?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Widener?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes. Item 2.
I move that we accept the bid.
We have a second?
Did he beat?
Okay. Discussion. Well, I think the board is appreciative of the county's efforts. So it's an unfortunate timeline and series of events. Personally, and I think we in the board agree, is right. We have to look at what's fair to do, what's the proper thing to do, what's the ethical thing to do. And that for me is what's going to guide my vote. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Swilly?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett?
I'm going to abstain.
Mrs. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Widener?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes. Item 3,
Motion approved. Second.
discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett?
Yes.
Mrs. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Swilly?
Yes.
Mr. Widener?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes. Okay. Any other comments? Yes, Bob.
Is there content still in the Mill City School, and they're going to be still sold?
They're posted on an online auction,
I saw that, I just
Yeah.
didn't know if that was still going on.
and then the playground equipment is my understanding, and will go up on a separate auction.
Right, the playground equipment at Evans Falls will go up separately because at the time that we posted all of the items that were at Mill City, we kept that contained to the items that were over there at that time. So
Okay.
at this point, that's active through, I believe, the 21st. I'd have to check. It is on the website. That's fine.
There is open house at Mill City this Sunday.
On the
correct?
19th. That's correct.
Any other questions or comments?
Motion adjourned. Second.
Thank you.